The Devil's Playground. Even the name sent shivers down your spine. It was a place of whispers and shadows. Locals told tales of disappearances. They said it was where the veil between worlds wore thin. No one dared to go there, except a group of reckless young friends. They craved adventure, laughed at fear. They dared to challenge the darkness. The woods swallowed them whole. The sunlight, already weak, struggled to penetrate the dense canopy. Shadows danced around them, twisting familiar shapes into menacing forms. The air grew colder, the silence deeper. The deeper they went, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. Their laughter died down, replaced by a tense silence. They started to hear whispers, faint and indistinct, slithering through the trees. Their equipment started to malfunction. Phones lost signal. Compasses spun uselessly. Their flashlights flickered, threatening to plunge them into utter darkness. "Just a bit of fun," Liam said, his voice higher than usual, trying to convince himself as much as the others. But doubt had crept into their hearts, cold and unsettling. They pressed on, each step taking them deeper into the heart of the unknown. They emerged into a clearing, a sudden break in the oppressive woods. In the centre, the ground yawned open, a gaping, jagged hole in the earth. It was as if the forest itself recoiled from this abyss. An unnatural chill emanated from the pit, sending shivers down their spines. The air hung heavy, thick with the stench of damp earth and something else, something ancient and foul. "This is it," Liam whispered, a strange mix of fear and fascination in his voice. Maya, pale but resolute, stood by his side. Ben, his face ashen, stammered, Maybe we should go back." But Liam was already moving towards the abyss, drawn by an unseen force. Chloe, her eyes wide with a growing sense of dread, watched him go. She knew then that they had gone too far, crossed a line they could not uncross. Liam's hand slipped. He cried out, grasping for purchase, but it was too late. He was falling, swallowed by the darkness. Maya screamed, lunging for him, but he was gone. Panic surged through the group. The darkness of the pit seemed to pulse, almost like a living entity. Ben, his bravado gone, backed away, muttering, "We can't help him, we have to go." Chloe, driven by hope, grabbed the rope, securing it to a tree. Without another word, she began to descend into the darkness. Ben, his fear momentarily forgotten, rushed to help her. The descent was a blur of rough rock and cold, damp air. The darkness was absolute, broken only by the faint beam of Chloe's flashlight. The air grew colder, heavy with moisture and the stench of decay. The silence was broken only by the sound of dripping water and their own ragged breathing. Then Chloe's flashlight flickered, died. They were engulfed in an oppressive, absolute darkness. "Liam?" Chloe called out, her voice a thin thread in the suffocating darkness. The only response was the echo of her own voice, bouncing back from the unseen depths. Suddenly, a low growl, guttural and primal, reverberated through the darkness. Chloe and Ben froze, their blood turning to ice in their veins. The growl built, became a roar that seemed to shake the very foundations of the earth. And then, silence. A silence more terrifying than any sound. They scrambled back to the surface, hearts pounding. The clearing was empty. There was no sign of Liam, no echo of the terrifying roar. Only the rope, dangling limply into the abyss, served as a stark reminder of their descent. They called out for Liam, their voices hoarse with fear and exhaustion. But the only answer was the whisper of the wind through the trees. They left the Devil's Playground, forever marked by their experience. They tried to resume their lives, but the memory of that night clung to them like a shroud. They had looked into the abyss, and the abyss had looked back. And in its depths, they had seen something dark and hungry, something that whispered their names on the wind. The devil's playground had claimed another victim, not in body, but in soul. The legend continued. Like this video and subscribe to Short Tales.